We're back with 26 more VR sandbox style games to play while you wait for Beyond Sandbox. Some mirror full sandboxes, others lean into open exploration, custom game creation or physics-based chaos, but all of them give you freedom to mess around. And if you want 10% off all VR games, including Beyond Sandbox at launch, check the link in the description and let's go. So first we got Townscaper VR. There are no objectives in Townscaper, you just drop down buildings and watch them organically turn into houses, towers, walkways and piers. The whole thing reacts automatically to your placements, so you're basically sculpting a town without worrying about stats or rules. So next is Toy Trains. Toy Trains is a playful diorama builder where you lay down tracks, place props and watch little trains chug along your custom layouts. You're not solving puzzles or following tasks, you just build what you want. The physics are simple but fun and the environments are interactive enough to keep you experimenting. So next we got Tablecraft. This is a virtual reality chemistry lab with zero safety standards. You can mix elements, toss random objects into machines and mess around with bizarre contraptions in this sandbox. There's no structure and you're meant to experiment freely and see what happens. It leans into chaos in the best possible way. Next we got Loam Sandbox. This is a chill gardening sandbox where you grow plants, decorate your environment and interact with everything using your hands. There's no score or goal, just a world that responds to your actions. You can move objects along, plant seeds and slowly build out your little nature space. It's like Animal Crossing if it had more dirt and less dialogue. So next we got Tentacular. In this game you play as a giant squid creature helping out an island and everything is physics driven. You can grab objects with your tentacles, stack things, throw stuff around or build strange contraptions. It's goofy and surprisingly open-ended. So next we got Stay Forever Home. This is a life sim where a magical creature moves in and you customize your environment to keep it happy. It's not just decorating, you can build, rearrange and interact with objects however you want and the creature reacts to what you do, which adds a bit of playful feedback to the game and a sandboxy vibe. Next is Waltz of the Wizard. In this game you're in a magical tower where basically everything is interactive. You can cast spells, throw objects, mess with physics and open portals to other dimensions. There's some structure but most of the fun comes from experimenting with what the world lets you do. It feels more like a spell lab than a story game and that's where the sandbox comes in. So next we got Dungeon Maker. This lets you build dungeons from scratch in your own home, room by room, trap by trap. You place objects, enemies and loot to create your own little adventure spaces. There's no combat unless you add it, so the focus is on construction and layout. You can even upload or play other people's designs. So next we got Yeeps Hide and Seek. This is like prop hunt with a twist. You can spawn items, change game modes and create your own rules. There's a base game of hide and seek, but the sandbox part is how you shape the game with gadgets and props. It's more of a creative playground than a structured experience, perfect for messing around with friends. So next up we got Doodlebotz Ultimate Sandbox. Doodlebotz is a physics-based brawler where you throw bots, hit stuff and generally make a mess. It's not trying to be balanced or serious, you just spawn items and chaos follows. You can play solo or with friends and basically turn every match into a slapstick comedy. Think robot mayhem with no rules. So next we got the DigiGods Carnival update. The Carnival update in DigiGods turns the whole game into a chaotic physics-based playground. You got ragdoll mayhem, glowing trails, bouncy potions and a bunch of weird tools to mess around with. It's all about creating your own fun, build a stunt course, launch yourself across the map or just troll your friends with ridiculous gadgets. If VR had a fever dream mode, this would be it. So next up we got XR Ultra Physics Sandbox 1 and 2. So there are two of these games and these are your classic physics playgrounds. You can spawn objects, equip weird weapons and destroy everything. You can mess with ragdoll bots, build scenes or just try random experiments. Nothing's locked behind objectives, everything's available from the start. It's all about freedom and over the top physics. So next up we've got Hit. Hit is all about punching, smashing and throwing things around with soft body physics. There's no mission structure, you're just given tools and ragdolls and told to go wild. You can squish heads, snap limbs or try dumb experiments to see what breaks. It's more fun than it probably should be. So next up we got Shave and Stuff. In here you run a barbershop where you can shave, pierce and tattoo your clients in ridiculous ways. The tools are interactive and the results are usually hilarious. There's no real pressure, just play around and see what kind of monstrosity you create. It's the weirdest makeover sandbox out there. So next we got Battlegrounds. This is a physics-based melee game where you use grappling hooks, swords and your bare hands to fight in chaotic arenas. Most of it is about playing with physics, climbing stuff, pulling enemies or launching yourself across the map. map. It's very sandbox in feel. Even though it has combat, half the fun is figuring out what stupid thing you can pull off next. So next we got BattleGlide. Now in this you fly through an open city using superhero style movements and you're free to go wherever. There are enemies to fight, but you can also just soar around, climb buildings, or pull off wild stunts. It's like if Spider-Man got dropped into a VR playground. The physics-based traversal makes it very sandboxy. Sandboxy? That works. So next we got Sport Mode. This is the successor to Physics Playground, and it's a combat sandbox where you spawn weapons, enemies, and test how they all interact. Kinda along the lines of Bone Lab or games like that. The ragdoll physics are a big part of the appeal. You can fling bodies, experiment with melee, or set up weird scenarios. There's a small structure, but it mostly exists to support the chaos, and it's great for anyone who likes to build their own fight scenes. So next then is Project Demigod. In this, you get a pile of superhero powers and a toad to go nuts. Fly, throw cars, punch robots into the sky. It's a VR power fantasy with no rules. You can combine powers and weapons however you want and test them in different environments. There's no story, just freedom to mess around. So next we got Frenzy VR. Now Frenzy is another soft body combat sandbox where you can rip arms off enemies and throw their heads across the room. There are challenge modes, but most of the game is just how you use the physics driven dummies. You can customize weapons, change environments, and spawn enemies freely. It's violent but silly. Next is Titan's Clinic. Now this is from the same developers as Shave and Stuff, but in this you are a dentist to the Titans. In this game you perform surgery on massive creatures using tools the size of small cars. There's some structure, but you're mostly poking around inside the giants. You can swap parts, extract things, and see how far you can push the tools. So next we got Guardians of the Realms. This one uses mixed reality to bring fantasy battles into your own space. You can summon enemies, build defenses, and alter the layout of the arena. It's like a tower defense game meets sandbox in your living room. The game encourages you to keep changing things around and testing setup. Next is Population 1 Sandbox mode. Now I bet you didn't know that Population 1 had this. This mode lets you build your own multiplayer maps and modify everything from weapons to gravity. You're not stuck with just a battle royale. Now you can create racing tracks, obstacle courses, or weird custom games. It's a proper map editor with serious tools. People have built some wild stuff in there. So next we have Thief Simulator VR. This is a stealth game but super open-ended. You pick how to break in, what tools to use, and how to escape. There's no one right way to rob a house. You can plan things down to the second or improvise with whatever's nearby. The freedom makes it feel like a sandbox heist game. Next then is Green Hell VR. In this game you're dropped into the jungle with nothing and have to figure it all out. You can build shelters, craft tools, and explore freely. It's more survival than sandbox, but the level of interactivity is huge. Everything you do, from chopping trees to boiling water, it's a very hands-on experience to which you can share with up to 3 friends. Next we got Power Wash Simulator. This is as straightforward as it sounds. You clean stuff, but the fun is in the detail. You choose how to clean, where to start. It turns into a kind of meditative sandbox where your only job is to make things spotless. Now if you click on screen you'll see details of a Beyond Sandbox giveaway I got going on. Outside of that, do what you want. I don't care. Bye for now.